Well, hey everybody, happy Friday. Hope you've been enjoying your week and are looking forward to some kind of fun activities this weekend. Last weekend was a busy one. It was on Friday was Canada Day here in Canada, July 1st, and Monday, July 4th, was Independence Day in the States. So all kinds of celebrations going on and fireworks, and I'm sure people were having barbecues and family gatherings and, well, all kinds of things going on and keeping people busy. So, hope you enjoyed last weekend. Maybe this weekend you're going to take it easy and put your feet up and have a quiet time for a change. Well, I hope you do, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, before we get to today's little bit of history, a couple of things. One is, some of you are probably wondering, what did Deb win? Being that she was the winner of the naming of the kettle contest, well, I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to watch Deb's Way, and maybe when she gets her package, she'll do a mail call and show you what she got from me. I don't want to say because I don't want to spoil a surprise for her. If she decides she's not going to do that, then after the fact, I'll tell you what she got. All right? Sound like a fair deal? All right, I'll put a link to Deb's channel in the description box below. Also a reminder, coming up this month, on the 23rd of July from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at St. Vidal's Park in Winnipeg, Manitoba, our YouTube creators meet and greet. Everybody's welcome. If you want to come, we'd sure love to see you. I know for a lot of people it's a little too far to travel, and, well, just be there in spirit. But if you can be there physically, we'd love to have you and love to see you. 12 noon, there's a potluck lunch, so if you're going to partake of the lunch, you need to get there before noon. And if you'd like to bring something to contribute, well, that's the whole point of a potluck, right? Alrighty, let's get on with things, shall we? Let's talk about Sarah Emma Edmonds, a fellow Canadian. But her claim to fame had nothing to do with Canada. It actually had to do with the American Civil War. Let's find out about it, shall we? During the Civil War, women, their hearts full of worry and sorrow, watched their husbands, brothers, and sons march away to the battlefield. While such emotional partings were difficult, some women also felt deep regret that they couldn't suit up to defend their country as well. The life of the average woman in the 1860s was one of restrictions and clearly defined gender roles. They were to maintain the home and raise the children. Joining the military certainly was not an option. Still, as many as 400 women snuck into brigades from both the north and the south by posing as male soldiers. Some successfully maintained their disguise, while others were discovered and discharged for, quote-unquote, sexual incompatibility. These female soldiers were trailblazers who put their lives on the line for their beliefs. Sarah Emma Edmonds was born in 1841 and believed that everyone should have the chance to fight for freedom and liberty, no matter what their gender. By age 17, she had already proven herself bold and willing to buck convention. Fleeing her home in New Brunswick, Canada, to escape her overbearing father, she stole away in the night and created a new home for herself, unencumbered, in Flint, Michigan, United States. Edmonds knew that if she was going to experience the world in the way she wished, she would have to reinvent herself entirely. As a woman, she could never fulfill her dreams of adventure. Too many doors were closed to her on the basis of gender. But she believed those doors would open if she could become a man. Discarding the identity of Sarah Emma Edmonds, she became Franklin Thompson, a book salesman. Dressed as a man and acting with the assertiveness and confidence of a man, she soon was able to support herself independently. Edmonds saw America as a land of unlimited potential, and she was determined to make the most of it. When war broke out, Edmonds saw another opportunity to prove her mettle and joined up with the Michigan Infantry as a male nurse and courier. "I am naturally fond of adventure," she later explained, "a little ambitious and a good deal romantic, and this, together with my devotion to the federal cause and determination to assist to the utmost of my ability in crushing the rebellion, made me forget the unpleasant items. Posing as Franklin Thompson, Edmonds blended in with the men of her unit, served admirably, and aroused no suspicion during her tour of duty. Since her disguise seemed to be working so well, she volunteered to spy for General George McClellan at the start of the Pennsylvania campaign. Edmonds continued to be effective in her use of disguises. She infiltrated the Confederates at Yorktown as a black slave by darkening her skin with silver nitrate and wearing a wig. After several days there, she returned to McClellan and shared the information she had gained. Edmonds' next assignment found her portraying a heavy-set Irishwoman named Bridget O'Shea. As O'Shea, she crossed enemy lines, peddling her wares, and returned with an earful of Confederate secrets. In August of 1862, Edmonds assumed the guise of a black laundress in a Confederate camp. One day, while washing an officer's jacket, she found a large packet of official papers. Giving the jacket a thorough dry cleaning, Edmonds returned to Union Camp with the packet. All this time, Army officials continued to believe Edmonds was Franklin Thompson. In the spring of 1863, she contracted malaria. She knew that she couldn't visit an Army hospital for treatment for fear of being found out. She reluctantly slipped away to Cairo, Illinois, and checked into a private hospital. Although Edmonds had planned to return to her previous duty after her recovery, she discovered that during her sickness, her alias, Private Thompson, had been pegged as a deserter. Edmonds couldn't resume the identity without facing the consequences, so she remained dressed as a woman and served as a nurse to soldiers in Washington, D.C. 2 years after the Civil War ended, she married Linus Steele, a fellow Canadian expatriate. The couple eventually settled down in Cleveland, Ohio. Determined that the world would know her story and see that a woman could fight just as well as a man, she wrote the best-selling Nurse and Spy in the Union Army, which exposed her gender-bending ways. She also fought hard for her alter ego, petitioning the War Department to expunge Frank Thompson's listing as a deserter. Following a War Department review of the case, Congress granted her service credit and a veteran's pension of $12 a month in 1884. She died 5 years later and was buried in the military section of a Houston cemetery. So there you have it. Canadian woman who fought as a American Yank against the South. Now, if you're from the South, don't hold this against me. I mean, when you're north of the 49th parallel, you aren't a Yank anymore, you're a Canadian. I'm not quite sure where Sarah falls into that, if she's a Canadian Yank or a Yankee Canadian. But anyway, she was a brave lady who believed in doing what her heart told her to do. So there we have it. And now you'd probably like a groaner. Well, we have a great groaner this week, and it comes to us courtesy of Tom from Cheshire Metal Detecting. And I'm going to read the email he sent me, which includes the joke. Hi, Ian mate. Love the story. Really interesting. The joke I have heard before, but it is still a funny one. Now for the joke I promised you. You can alter the money involved. I'm not going to. Two lads go into the pub, and were facing the door that separates the bar from the lounge. A lad on the other side shouts in to one of them, "Bill, can you lend me a $5?" Bill replies, "I can't hear you." So the fellow raises his voice a bit more and repeats, "Lends us a $5, Bill." Bill replies, "I can't hear you." So he raises his voice even louder, "Lends a $5." And Bill once more says, "I can't hear you." The mate that's with Bill turns to him and says, "I can hear him." And Bill said, "Well, you lend him the bloody $5 then." That's a good one, Tom. I appreciate that one. Well, hope you've enjoyed today's little bit of history about Frank Thompson, a.k.a. Sarah, and enjoyed the groaner, courtesy of Tom at Cheshire Metal Detecting. You should check Tom out. I'll put a link to his channel down below in the description box as well. Well, until Tuesday with Tuesdays with the Pilgrim, you take care and have a great weekend. We'll see you then. God bless.